Hello and welcome to the Dascar Regional Pro Cup Series for your third race of our first season here at the Scotia Speedworld in Nova Scotia, Canada. This should be a great race, and it's our only international race on the schedule. Before we get to the Regional Pro Cup Series events later on, we have our Dascar lights on track for their event. Here is your starting lineup rolling past on the bottom of the screen. Now, the top driver in this race, as always, will make it into the number 95 car for the Regional Pro Cup Series and have a chance to attempt the main event. But on point, it was Max Watson, car number 046. Now, Watson already has a good track record. He won last week at the All-Star Speedway. So he's going for 2 in a row this time, being on the pole 2 weeks in a row. Deon Scott's going to lose some positions to James Silverfox in the 077. I believe that's Kate Skirvin that's also trying to pass underneath. But Max Watson already pulling away with a huge lead over the rest of the pack. Max Watson is going to be a tough car to beat in these 20 laps. Deon Scott, car number 64, starting to drop back, as already he's been passed by Skirvin, Silverfox, and D'Artagnan Jr. Here comes Logan York already underneath. Deon Scott came into the series to try and get better at these short tracks, but it just hasn't been going his way. The Australian driver losing more spots, and whoa, Sean Angel, the Canuck, one of the 2 Canucks in the field, here for somewhat of a home race, making a huge dive underneath Norman Jison, and now passing Deon Scott as well, and Scott dropping like a rock. I've never seen a car drop this far back in so little time, so Deon Scott must have an issue in that number 64 car. It's just been problem after problem for this team as Alex Pedro tries to work past, and same for fellow Canadian Dominic Cousins, well, not fellow Canadian, Kate Skirvin, car number 07 in second place, having a great run today. She's mostly known for being in the middle of the pack and just keeping consistent, but right now, running up in the top 2 positions and pulling away from third place. Now, it's going to take a lot to beat Max Watson, but she is starting to gain on him. So Skirvin might just have a chance to make her first start in the Regional Pro Cup Series in the number 95 car. The 07 is running strong. She's having a great race today. Jace Adapter, car number 10, has been very inconsistent on track. He's either doing really well, like last week, or really bad, like in Utica Rome and Scotia Speedworld. He's currently dead last on the circuit and struggling to keep up with Norman Jising and DJ Curtis in that loud number 52. But there's still potential in Jace Adapter. He's a young driver in this series, does not have much experience, and is trying his best to make it. As look at that, he's trying to pass Norman Jising, and he might just be able to get it done. And that's something to say. You're passing a race winner with a lot of racing experience. So Jace Adapter trying to work his way through the field, but it might be difficult to make it into the show. Julian D'Artagnan Jr., car number 31, having a great run on track, running up there in the top 5. D'Artagnan Jr. is a development driver for the CM Rally team. Now, I'm not sure how far these skills would transfer over into Rallycross, because CM Rally Team owns a Rallycross team in the Utica Rallycross series. They run John Lasco, and they're number 7 at the current moment. But D'Artagnan Jr. is one of their development drivers, and I think they're bridging into other racing mediums, short track racing being one of them, and D'Artagnan Jr. doing a great job at it. Dominic Cousins at somewhat of a home track, not running the best. He's been having a really tough season, even worse than Deon Scott. All of his finishes have been in the last 2 positions on track, and that's where he is at the current moment. The only car he's ahead of is Norman Jising in the 89. But Dominic Cousins trying to make a pass on Jace Adapter. Hopefully he can get it done, and he can work his way up to a decent finish, not outside the bottom 2. Logan York, car number 93, has been having a great run today. This car has been pretty strong, and is trying to catch up to Julian D'Artagnan Jr., who is sitting in third place. So York, one of the young talents today, having an exceptional race, despite the huge gap that Max Watson has put on him and the other drivers have in front of him. He's been keeping near the front of the pack, but York could come out of this with a good points day. Alex Pedro, car number 02, running a little further back in the pack, not to his particular liking. These cars have really spread out, and the one thing Alex Pedro can say is that he's ahead of Sean Angel, who is an established race car driver in other series, like the Utica Home Track Series. But Pedro still has a lot to learn in this series, and he'll have many more chances to try and work his way up there. There's been rumors that he's also been trying to work on a Utica Home Track Series ride, but that's not gotten through yet. Max Watson, car number 046, is your race winner, and he will transfer over to the main event for the second week in a row. So congratulations to the German driver, having such a great car out there, dominating this entire event. Let's take a look at your race results. Max Watson makes it into the main event. He will have to try and qualify in the qualifier event, but he does have a chance. Skirvin, Silver Fox, Dartinius Jr., York, Hagen, Scott, Pedro, Angel, Curtis, Adapter, Cousins, and Jysung. Cousins having a pretty poor day, and Jysung, the Utica Home Track Series, the Utica Rome Speedway winner, not doing too well. Point standings: Max Watson on top despite running one less race than everyone else. Julian Dartinius Jr. in second, followed by James Silverfox, Logan York, Cody Hagen, Kate Skirvin, Sean Angel, Alex Pedro, Norman Jysing, who's going to really drop in the standings, Jace Adapter, DJ Curtis, Dion Scott, and Dominic Cousins, a pitiful 4 points. That's all for the Dascar Lights. Let's see how they do in the qualifier race for the Regional Pro Cup. 15 cars are in this qualifying session, and with a larger field for this race, there will be 27 cars as opposed to last week's 25. That means 7 drivers will make the race, so a little more leeway, but still not as much as there are 15 cars here. There's going to be 8 cars going home. We start in Chris Aurelio on the pole, but Nick Pericles, car number 12, getting out to the race lead. However, Aurelio has the preferred line, but can Pericles make the shut? No, he can't. And Chris Aurelio trying to battle for that race lead. He's got a little bit of help from the 01, who seems to be lane swapping, but Alex DeMarco got a bad start, so he wasn't able to help Nick Pericles. And Chris Aurelio, car number 82, goes to the race lead. Now, Aurelio, a Utica Home Track Series driver and a champion in Utica Rallycross, so definitely some driving talent up near the front as Nick Pericles tries to chase him down in his main and tail dodge. Take a little bit further back. Alex DeMarco, car number 74, was one of the drivers that fell out of the top 20. He didn't have a good run last week at All-Star Speedway, and now he's starting to sink through the field. He's currently on the bubble to be in the show as Ian Dutta, car number 3, tries to make the pass, and looks like he will. Alex DeMarco, that car must be ailing as that car has fallen way far back. Michael Aurelio, car number 92, trying to work his way in as well. And there's Zachary Fitzwater trying to make a pass, almost going... I think Fitzwater tried to make it 3 wide there, but couldn't get underneath Aurelio. Max Watson falling close behind Jamie DeFalo, and look at Alex DeMarco just getting past. Now Ian Dutta trying to pass Skylar Dixon, the 59, to get the spot. We were actually incorrect. DeMarco was not the transfer spot. It is Skylar Dixon. But now Dutta is in the position. Now Dixon tries to make the pass. Zachary Fitzwater trying to make an attempt as well. So a lot of passing going on for the transfer spot in 7th place as Ian Dutta is going to fall out of it, and Skylar Dixon currently in. Dutta has not had a particularly good season in events related to this. Utica Home Track Series has been abysmal. He's yet to make a race. And here right now he's had 1 start and it's been pretty bad. He's trying to make his 2nd of the season, but he's going to have to try and pass Skylar Dixon, the 59, to make it happen. We take a look at the driver who made it in the Dascar Lights event. Max Watson, the 2nd attempt in that number 95 machine. Now, we weren't expecting him to win the first one, let alone the second one. So, Watson definitely showing how great of a driver he is. However, not running the best right now. Currently dead last on track, falling right behind Alex Smith in the 65, who's back in his regular number for this week. Michael Aurelio has also fallen to the tail end of the field, at number 92. Max Watson, the German driver, definite driving talent, but has just had some bad luck. Vincent Allen, car number 01, currently in position to make the field. Now, Vincent Allen, part of the Allen family, won the qualifier event last week and got the 5 bonus points to help his championship effort. However, he lost on the tiebreaker. He was so close to being locked in this week, but Prudence Littlejohn beat him to it. So he has to race it in one more time and hope they can make it in, get the points to make it up. Jamie DeFalu, car number 13, trying to work his way into a second career start in the Dascar Regional Pro Cup. Now he's one spot out of it. Ian Dutta is the driver ahead of him, and then he has to pass him and Skylar Dixon. Actually, I would say more 2 cars. But DeFalu has a little bit of a challenge from Alex DeMarco, the 74 car, that's trying to make the show. So DeFalu having to combat some drivers with more experience. Last week was not very good for car number 13. He had a lot of issues during the race and was sent all over that racetrack. He almost went a lap down in the qualifier. Michael Aurelio sunk all the way back to last place, said this car is not handling well and he doesn't think he's going to be able to make the show. Time is running out in this 20-lap feature. And Aurelio, despite his credentials, the Utica Home Track Series Rookie of the Year and a winner at the Monza event for Utica Home Track Series, along with several rallycross wins, it just hasn't been a good string of runs for him in the various series he participates in. However, things are starting to turn around Utica Home Track. He hasn't been able to turn it around here. He almost was locked in for the Utica Rome event, but sadly, he got wrecked by Nick Pericles, of which he is still pretty bitter about. Now we go from the Aurelio in the back to the Aurelio in the front. Chris Aurelio has been leading this entire session and is going on his final lap. So car number 82, just one more lap to go. It should be his race, unless something goes catastrophically wrong. But the Utica Club car having a good event so far, and it looks like he is safely in the show. Jake Williams is right behind him in the second position. However, he's not going to be much of a challenge. Chris Aurelio going to come to the line, and he will get those 5 bonus points. So congratulations to Chris Aurelio, car number 82 for GHL Aurelio Racing. Great effort for him. They had a great car today. If only his brother had that same amount of drive in his machine. Well, with that, let's take a look at the drivers that will be in the race later tonight. Now, car number 82, Chris Aurelio, is for sure in. He also gets 5 bonus points to help with his championship efforts. Jake Williams in the field as well, along with Seth Cole for the second time. Vincent Allen in 4th, consistent run in these qualifiers. Nick Pericles making it in 5th. Gabriel Messina, 6th place. Good job for him, his second career start. And Skylar Dixon rounds out that top 7. The rest of them failed to qualify for this event. Ian Dutta, Jamie DeFalu, Alex DeMarco, Ami Yumi, who's replacing Ray Takita, who's out on injury, Zachary Fitzwater, Max Watson, Alex Smith, and Michael Aurelio. Well, that's it for the qualifier event. Better luck to these drivers next week. Let's take a look at the main event. It all comes down to this. The main event here at the Scotia Speedworld. 27 drivers on track battling for that elusive victory. Now, based on the racing we've seen earlier today, there will be some passing, but it is a safe bet that someone near the front of the pack is a better option for winning this. Passing near the front has been difficult, but lap traffic could play a big part in this and maybe throw off the win. That's your 27-car field. Rolling past on pole is Vincent Allen, car number 01, who qualified in on his qualifier race. To his outside is Chris Aurelio, who won the qualifier event, so that car has stayed good between the sessions. And Vincent Allen going to get a great start. Chris Aurelio to the outside, not the preferred lane for this racetrack. The inside line tends to do much better. And already Allen off to a huge lead in that number 01 car. He won the qualifier race last week at the All-Star Speedway. Now he's trying to win the main event. Joseph Onesto, your points leader, is in the middle of the field, about 15th. He's passing Eric and Rage at the moment. But if Onesto wants to keep up that streak of great finishes, he needs to work his way back up into the top 10. Onesto's been a force to be reckoned with so far in this young season, and he's one of the favorites to continue onward to be a championship competitor at the end of these 10 events. But Onesto working his way up through the field, passing several drivers. We'll have to see how he does throughout the day. Jeffrey Finguy, car number 9, driving for the Jeffrey Finguy Incorporated team, running in 2nd place, having a great effort so far. Finguy has been consistently locked into the top 20. He's never had to go to the qualifier event. And if he can keep it up like this, he may not have to for a while. As Finguy trying to close in on the 01 of Vincent Allen. He says that the car is handling good and they've got some great equipment on board. They think they might have a chance of this victory if they can just catch up to the 01 car. We take a look from the front of the pack to the back of the pack. Alex Tanker, car number 43, currently rounding out the field in last place. He's already fallen a decent bit away from Vincent Allen, and though this is a short track, so it's much easier to lap cars. Alex Tanker is one of those drivers that needs to worry about locked in contention. If he doesn't move up too much, he might just not be locked into the next event. So he's trying to pass Paul Swanson, the 000, and catching up to Skylar Dixon, who had to qualify his way in on the qualifier event. Seth Cole also lingering near the back. Colin Bartel, car number 66, having a great run so far. Utica Home Track Series has not been going too smoothly for him, but everything's going hunky-dory at the moment, running in third place. Now, he's actually failed to qualify for every Utica Home Track Series race except for the Bristol event, which he was locked in, and that's been a source of frustration for Colin Bartel, but the Utica Rallycross Series has treated him well at the current moment, running in third place. He is one of the drivers that might have a shot at victory. He does have two difficult competitors to pass. The Flying Dutchman, Robert Piet, car number 047, sitting in the 5th place position. Robert Piet having a great run in that 047. The Dutch driver, considered a very top driver, and also the president of this series, the Dascar leader. So as we said, he likes getting on track, driving those cars, and seeing what makes these series so great. And Robert Piet doing a great job. He'll be off to run in several other series and fulfill his duties running the Phillips Cup Series. Jordan Culp, car number 5, making a pass later in the field. Now, there hasn't been much passing as of late. It's been mostly single-file racing, but Culp able to get by Nathan Minizuki, and this is about a top 10 effort. Now, Jordan Culp having a great run so far this season, up in the higher portion of the point standings. Also making his debut in the Dascar Phillips Cup Series, trying his best there. He raced at Daytona before this. But Culp confident with his number 5 car. Not sure if he'll be able to get the victory, but he should be in line for a good finish. Seth Cole, car number 80, trying to work his way up through the pack, but he's currently near the back. Seth Cole has been desperately trying to make it into these races. He qualified for the All-Star Speedway event, but was just out of the running to make it in for this race. But right now, near the back of the pack, it might be cutting it close on whether he can make that top 20. He's currently passing Eric and Rage in car number 42 and is ahead of Chris Washer, who's up in the point standings. Chris Aurelio, car number 82, who won the qualifier event, having a great run so far. He said this car is running just about as good as it did in the qualifier event, so I'm assuming that Vincent Allen must have made some heavy improvements to that car. They said after the race, do not touch this car, we want it perfect, and it was. They qualify well and they're currently racing well now, though they've fallen a little bit away from Colin Bartel. However, Chris Aurelio should be happy with this effort in the top 10. Nick Pericles currently in last place of drivers in the lead lap, and there's the 01 car, Vincent Allen. So we have lapped traffic. So we'll have to see how this can play into the running of this event. We're just about near the halfway point, if I'm not mistaken. And Paul Swanson trying to throw that block on Pericles to make sure he doesn't go a lap down. There is Zachary Robinson in the 09 car who's dropped back through the pack, and Jake Williams has also fallen back a ways. Paul Swanson is going to get past, and now Vincent Allen trying to make it underneath. Looks like he's got the preferred line. He'll probably take him in turn 1. As Nick Pericles trying to defend the spot, he can't keep it down enough on the racetrack, and Vincent Allen has found his window. And now he's trying to pass, and it's getting kind of dicey, but Nick Pericles is going to lose out as the 01 car slowly makes it by. But there's Jeffrey Finguy, car number 9, just peeking into the screen. We saw him there in turn 1. He's catching up to Paul Swanson, which in turn is catching up to Vincent Allen. So this lap traffic is slowing down the 01 machine. However, Jeffrey Finguy needs to traverse it. And at the current moment, he is stuck between these two cars battling for position in 24th and 25th. Colin Bartel is starting to catch up now. And it could be a 3-car shootout near the front if Vincent Allen gets held up by the lap traffic. We haven't talked about Henry Nova much this season. He's been pretty quiet on the radar, but currently sitting in a solid top 10 effort. Henry Nova pretty happy with this car Now, he is one of the top drivers in the Utica Home Track Series. He's currently in the top 10 in standings and one of the few cars locked into races. So, Henry Nova showing off his driving prowess today, running a little bit ahead of Jackson Darby. Best of luck to the 07 car this season. The 01 of Vincent Allen has passed Eric and Rage to number 42, and then Rage was a little further up in the standings. So this will be a killer for his points run. Chris Washer is slightly ahead of them. That will also hurt him in the standings. Now Zachary Robinson is the last car on the lead lap, and Vincent Allen needs to try and work his way past him. However, Robinson has been pretty aggressive on track. He's been racing everyone he can to try and keep positions and gain positions. So Robinson might not be as easy to pass as, say, Pericles. Vincent Allen, a great effort so far. He just has to hope that the lap traffic doesn't ruin it for him. He's led every lap so far. Jeffrey Finguy is a couple spots back, running just behind the 42 car, so he is catching up. If Eric and Rage can get a good run on Vincent Allen and attempt to get his lap back, that could open the door for Jeffrey Finguy to sneak underneath. Until then, he's going to have to try and pass the 42 car and the 01. Finguy says he does have a good car, but the big question is it as good as that 01 machine? As the 000 of Paul Swanson starting to catch up and trying to make the pass on Jeffrey Finguy, trying to capitalize getting that extra point by catching up to Eric and Rage. Robert Piet and Chris Aurelio have passed Colin Bartel. Bartel had gotten held up by Nick Pericles on the outside lane, and Chris Aurelio took the opportunity to take the third place position. Robert Piet running in fourth place, and there's a battle for fifth place right behind them as Derek Pemberton attempts to pass Colin Bartel. Bartel is down to the inside line, however. He might be able to hold him off, but great job for a lot of these drivers near the front. Joseph Onesto, car number 62, has had a relatively disappointing day. He's been running closer to the back of the pack, a late teens effort. He's battling with Trevor Germain, car number 1, who's just barely locked in on points. He's hoping that this can be enough to catapult him up in the standings, though this is not the prime effort for either of these drivers. Onesto saying over the radio this car was not handling to his liking, but he's still managing to keep it on the lead lap. Coming to the line, 1 lap to go. Vincent Allen has led every lap so far. He's passed Chris Washer, and Jeffrey Finguy is making the pass now, but Zachary Robinson has finally given up his block. And Vincent Allen, car number 01, is not going to catch Alan Tanker, but he's going to win his first career Dascar Regional Pro Cup Series event. So congratulations to the Allen Racing family, getting one of their drivers in victory lane. This is the first time they've gone to victory lane since Andreas Allen took the win in the Utica Home Track Series at Daytona last year. Here are your race results. Vincent Allen, your winner, his first time. Jeffrey Finguy in second, a great effort by that driver. Chris Aurelio in third. Colin Bartel actually going to make the pass on Robert Piet for fourth. We missed that later on. Derek Pemberton, Henry Nova in seventh. Jackson Darby, Jordan Culp, and P.J. Williams, your top 10. They're followed by Nathan Minazuki, Alex Hawkins, Gabriel Messina, Prudence Littlejohn, the English driver of James Shelley, Anthony McCurry, Trevor Germain, Joseph Onesto, Jake Williams, Seth Cole, Skylar Dixon, and Alex Tanker round out the cars in the lead lap. Zachary Robinson, Chris Washer, Paul Swanson, Eric and Rage, and Nick Pericles all finished 1 lap off the pace. Let's take a look at your top 20 in the points and see who's going to be locked in for the race next week at the Flat Rock Speedway in Michigan. Joseph Onesto, still your points leader, but Jordan Culp and Derek Pemberton have caught up. Robert Piet is in fourth place, a great run. Jeffrey Finguy. Vincent Allen was not locked in last week. Now he's up to sixth in points. Anthony McCurry in seventh, followed by Bartel, Williams, and Hawkins, your top 10. Chris Washer and Eric and Rage fall through the standings. Jackson Darby, Henry Nova, Trevor Germain, James Shelley, Nathan Minazuki, Paul Swanson, Prudence Littlejohn, and Chris Aurelio works his way into the top 20. Everyone else is going to have to race their way in when we go to our next race at the Flat Rock Speedway in Michigan. Should be a great race, some short track racing as always. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.